advanced level student from diverse
Education is evolving. The traditional one-size-fits-all model is no longer sufficient. In today's dynamic world, personalized learning is not just desired, it's essential. Students come from diverse backgrounds. They have unique learning styles, interests, and aspirations. To truly engage and empower them, education must cater to these individual needs. Personalized learning recognizes that each student is on a unique journey. It shifts the focus from passive absorption to active participation. This approach equips learners with the skills and knowledge they need to thrive in a rapidly changing world. It's about fostering curiosity, critical thinking, and a love of lifelong learning. However, implementing personalized learning can be challenging. Traditional methods often struggle to keep pace. This is where technology can play a transformative role. By harnessing the power of digital tools, we can create learning experiences that are as individual as the students themselves.
Welcome, everyone. Today, I'll be discussing an insightful study that delves into the use of ePortfolios to enhance student engagement, ownership, and the application of knowledge in advanced level programs at Valdymas College. Valdymas College is located in Nigeria, West Africa. The purpose of my video today and the associated publication is to explore how leveraging ePortfolios can transform traditional educational methods into more student-oriented approaches, student-centered approaches, promoting deeper learning and greater engagement. So my publication title is actually linked with my innovation proposal and plan. And so it's titled Leveraging ePortfolio to Drive Personalized Learning in Advanced Level Programs and Enhance Student Ownership and Application of Their Knowledge to Real-World Scenarios. I have with me today on the video Dorcas, an organizational leadership consultant for Valdymas College from Johns Hopkins University, that's Baltimore, Maryland. And others who might actually join are Mr. James, who is the HOD Sciences and is the media team lead for Valdymas College. I think maybe Miss Mercy may be joining us along the line as well, lead administrator for Valdymas College. And on the call already is also Mr. Johnson. He's the head of ICT unit for Valdymas College. So, as I'm discussing, the intended relevant audiences for my discussion is particularly for educators, for administrators, policymakers, and even educational technologists. Educators would see some practical benefits in what I will be discussing, especially in the implementation strategies of ePortfolios. Administrators will understand how ePortfolio can enhance student engagement and learning outcomes. And then for policymakers, maybe the importance of supporting educational technology ideas, especially that will foster personalized and learning and any other form of learning that can help with meaningful connection with our real life experiences. And lastly, I would also love educational technologists to also listen to a video like this and think about integrating digital tools into curriculum design effectively. So with my innovation plan at Valdymas College, my goal is to focus on personalized learning for A-level students. Advanced level students are students that post high school and they run the advanced level program to secure admission into the second year, which we'll call second college year if we were to be here in the United States. So to encourage active learning amongst the students, the plan aims to drive student ownership of learning and enhance their capacity for authentic knowledge application to their real world scenario. So by leveraging digital platforms, we seek to create a superior learning environment that promotes and prioritizes student choices, ownership of their content, and the practical application of their knowledge. So the ePortfolio helps with lifelong learning for even myself and my students, as the case is. Learning doesn't end when they finish the program. Learning then becomes a lifelong endeavor. So that's what we encourage them to be, and so they can take charge of their ePortfolio all through their undergraduate education and ensure the knowledge they capture can be used as they grow and learn more. They will, and this would also help them to have deep, insightful, and meaningful learning through reflection of things that they've done all through their lives. So the ePortfolio will help amplify the voice of even introvert learners and develop capacity for deep reflection for extroverts. And connecting learning to the authentic world is a crucial justification for me to take on this initial initiative across Valdymas College. So, Ms. Dorcas, thank you for joining. What are the intended challenges with the advanced level student that we're able to identify during our analysis?
Thank you very much. We actually observed like a gap in the advanced level students' engagement with their learning, especially after their trainings. We noticed that students simply want to read to pass their final exams and do not show ownership of what they've learned, especially after school. The core issue being addressed is actually the lack of deep engagement and practical application of knowledge among the A-level students at Valdymas College. The current learning approach at the college is heavily geared towards exam preparation, which often leads to superficial learning and fails to encourage students to take ownership of their educational journey or even apply their knowledge to real-world scenario. This has been identified as a significant barrier to achieving meaningful and lasting educational outcomes. Thank you.
Oh, really? Wow, that's deep. Thank you so much for expatiating on that. So the complexity of my research is such that we have to delve into a mixed method design, actually understanding where the gaps are on the student side. So combining both qualitative and quantitative approaches to provide a comprehensive analysis of the effectiveness of ePortfolio to achieve the goal of enhancing student ownership of knowledge. Because of this, the study was done. We involved 100 advanced level students from diverse backgrounds, ensuring that we have broad understanding of impact of ePortfolio. And we gathered data through surveys, interview, and then the academic performances. They write weekly tests, and so academic performance metrics over a period of 6 months. With detailed analysis of this qualitative and quantitative data, we're able to identify some key thematic areas and patterns. So, with this, Ms. Dorcas, what are your thoughts about personalized learning and the use of ePortfolios?
Okay, thank you so much. Well, firstly, I believe learning should be original to the learner, and therefore the voice, the ownership, the authentic application and choice of the learner should be the primary driving force, with support from teachers and school leaders. Then secondly, learning helps to change the culture and context in which we operate. So with digital economy comes a culture of innovation, which is powering blended and personalized approaches to learning. ePortfolio should help enhance students' ownership and application of knowledge to real-world problems in their unique ways. Also, ePortfolio serve as an effective tool in personalized learning by providing a platform for students to compile, to reflect on, and showcase their learning journeys. Research indicates that ePortfolios enhance student engagement and knowledge retention by encouraging active participation and self-assessment. And furthermore, ePortfolio facilitates a connection between academic learning and real-world application, which is crucial in advanced level programs. This connection is achieved through the integration of project-based learning and reflective practices that enable students to see the relevance of their education, especially in real-world context. Thank you.
Wow, great. Thank you so much for that deep analysis. And so understanding the depth of what learning has to be and how it has to be original to the learner, because of that, the findings we got from the qualitative and quantitative data from our study indicate that there was increased student engagement of about 75% of students agree that ePortfolio increased engagement with their course material. Students found ePortfolios to be more interactive and engaging, actually because it's their work and it's their choice, and they decide how they want to beautify design at their platform. It also shows that 80% of students reported a greater sense of ownership over their learning. They appreciated the ability to track their progress and reflect on their achievement. That's enhanced ownership of learning. We also noticed from the data, from the finding, that 75% agree that ePortfolio helped them understand how to apply academic knowledge to real-world scenarios, which is actually the core of our the research, the action research. We really want them to be able to apply it to the unique scenarios in their own world. That is, learning becomes transformational professional, learning leads to leadership in their world. So there was a significant increase in documentation of practical applications and reflections. Some of them turned it out to be like a diary where they document their day-to-day activities and the challenges they faced and how they're able to resolve it, which is impressive. We also noticed improvement in academic performance. There was an overall improvement in the grades over the course of the 6 months. Assignment completion rate post-implementation of the e-portfolios increased, indicating effective support for academic success. We also noticed that there's a positive perception of usability. 80% of students found the e-portfolio system easy to use and integrate to their work. As it goes, actually, we know that to further enhance the effectiveness of ePortfolio, we are recommending the following from our findings, especially from our focus group interviews. The suggestions that we have found is that we also need to provide ongoing training and support for both the teachers, the school leaders, and the students themselves. We also need to foster culture of continuous reflection and feedback, even while to improve the quality of the content of what is being documented in their e-portfolios. And we also understood that we need to integrate e-portfolio with other digital tools and platforms to create seamless learning environment, like integrating it with Google Classroom, integrating it with different other platforms that would make it then mobile friendly platforms so that they can run most of the activities on their mobile phones. Then we also noticed that we need to regularly review and update e-portfolio practices based on student and educator feedback. The implementation of e-portfolio in advanced level has a potential to bring about long-term benefit by creating a more engaged and practically knowledgeable student body. By providing this platform for documentation, reflection, and even showcasing the academic and extracurricular achievement, I believe ePortfolio will support personalized educational experience, especially at a systemic level, which would help prepare them for the complexity of their professional world. Mr. Johnson, you're the ICT expert here, and you've been very instrumental in providing platforms for the student and getting them enrolled on the ePortfolio platform. What are the technical challenges you foresee in the implementation of ePortfolio among the A-level students?
Thank you very much. One of the major challenges that we have highlighted is access to stable internet connections, which can be very challenging most of the times. Also, the cost of purchasing internet connections. Also, we have issues with technical proficiency of teachers and students who would be using the ePortfolio. Although Valdymas College has been putting in place several training models for students and also for the teachers. Another concern is the cost of platforms used for this ePortfolio. Most of the free blog sites do not have major features for proper learning, and they just offer you paid version, which can be very expensive for students to maintain, and that can be very discouraging. So also we have cost of stable electricity. Although our students get to use mobile phones, they have available gadgets which are being used, but power supply remains a critical challenge in terms of cost and availability. But in all, Valdymas, the leadership has made efforts to ensure that there is regular power and stable internet in the environment as long as the students are on site. Thank you very much.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. It's impressive to see the leadership also working alongside us to make this thing happen. Thank you for mentioning that. So what's the call to action for educators, policymakers, even for parents, students alike? We say we encourage educators and policymakers to adopt the idea of ePortfolio in educational settings to enhance personalized learning and reward knowledge application. And by integrating ePortfolio into the curriculum, educational institutions can foster a more engaged and interactive learning environment. This requires a commitment to providing the necessary infrastructure, like Valdymas College has been doing, the necessary training and support for both the educators and the student. By doing so, we can create a more effective and student-centered educational experience that prepares learners for the challenges of the modern world. I really want at this point to thank you so much for your attention. You can read the publication. I have a full draft of the publication on a link that will be with this video. I would like you to let's work together to transform education and empower our students to succeed in a real world scenario. Thank you so much for your time.
ePortfolios are transforming advanced learning by driving personalized education, enhancing student ownership, and bridging the gap between school and the real world. Give it a try and see the difference it makes. And thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more insights into innovative educational practices. See you next time.